Hey folks, hope you've been doing well. Here we're about to head out from Oakland Troy Airport, Victor Lima Lima, doing a quick windsock check because winds were somewhat variable. So we're actually going to Lansing Airport, which is Kilo Lima Alpha November is the ICAO identifier. We just finished our run up here and then we're departing runway 28. We usually go to the Mason Jewett field, which is Kilo Tango Echo Whiskey, but John is unfortunately busy, so we're going to go have some good food at Eat BBQ and then give John a visit where he works, which is at KLAN. And John is doing a lot of awesome work, studying to be an A&P mechanic, so we're going to hang out with him for a bit afterwards. But here we're setting up to take off runway 28 from Victor Lima Lima Airport. The weather was really good, actually. Super high pressure. I think the altimeter was 3051, which is pretty high. It's a great climb performance, great engine performance in general. And it was a great day just to go out and have a lunch date and have some fun. We got flight following to Lansing, and the field's right there, actually. You'll see here we get a traffic alert.
Traffic. 1 o'clock, low, 1 mile.
It's pretty important in these types of cases to really start looking for traffic. You'll notice I looked straight ahead first, even though it was 1 o'clock. It's because when something's up close, I want to make sure I'm not lagging behind where the indicator is telling me. If something's right in front of me, I want to look there first and then scan to the right or left. In this case, 1 o'clock is a bit to the right, and we found the traffic and there's no issues there. We're turning here right base for runway 10 right. ATC had originally set us up for a right downwind for 10 right, and this was just a little bit after. So we actually made this a bit tighter because there was a regional jet that was 10 miles out coming in for a straight in, and we're just working with Lansing Tower. I've visited this airport numerous times in the past, especially during training, when I was training out of Crosswinds in Pontiac, and we'd go to Lansing all the time for cross countries, so I know this airport relatively well, and it's always nice to be back to where your training grounds were. We did our full stop at AFLIGHT, which is the FBO that I usually go to, and they waive the landing fee if you get fuel, so I went ahead and got our fuel topped off. We used about 8.5 gallons to fly from Victor Lima Lima to Lansing, and it was a pretty smooth flight. Now we're going to go get some barbecue. you guys haven't been to Meat BBQ, I highly recommend it. I think they have the best brisket in the state. And it was really nice to see John at work. He's definitely going through the grind now. In Lansing, you can get flat following from ground control, which actually ground and tower frequencies were the same at that time because they weren't very busy. They set us up with flat following back to Oakland Troy and had us taxi to runway 6. And then we did our run up actually near aft flight. There was nobody there, so we just did it at the ramp. And now we're getting ready to depart runway 6 back to Victor Lima Lima Airport. It's a beautiful time of day to depart because it's kind of like a sunset and you can see some beautiful colors in the sky. You can actually see the moon up there too. So here's the takeoff. You know, the winter in Michigan this year was absolutely brutal, and I actually had a GPS antenna issue, so I had to get the antenna replaced, and that was kind of a lengthy process, so I decided to just get the annual done too, which is usually due in July for me, but I decided to move it to the winter. So it's been a month and a half of maintenance, but now we're back in the air. After all the barbecue we had, we were both feeling very relaxed, and Naomi was ready to go to sleep. I absolutely love flying at this time. It's not quite nighttime yet. You know, we actually landed 15 minutes prior to when it would count as a night legal landing, which is an hour after sunset. But the wind was super smooth, and you could see the runway very far out. We canceled flight following about 10 miles, 12 miles out actually, and then just set up for a straight in runway 10 here in Oakland, Troy. I always have the visual approach loaded in, especially after I got my instrument rating. Even if I'm flying VFR, it's always a good idea to have the visual approach loaded, just so you make sure you're lined up with the right runway. And this is especially important when flying at night, or you're flying into an unfamiliar airport. Always back it up with a visual approach with your instrumentation if you're able. So we've landed and we're about to go tuck the plane in, and Naomi. And Everything's working great. You know, I like doing an extended run up after maintenance. I actually don't do a lot of pattern work right after maintenance. I go out and fly for 20 minutes with altitude, make sure the engine is healthy, and then I'll come back for pattern work. Avionics are working great. My GPS-1 antenna issue is fixed. It's acquiring satellites very well now. So the plane is in great shape, and we're looking forward to a lot of adventures this upcoming summer. Thanks for watching.